It is a damn shame, under the guise of destroying a patriarchy that does not exist, y'all are willing to destroy little boys. When I say y'all, I'm talking about you know who they are. The negative effects of harmful masculinity occurs when negative masculine ideas are upheld. What are the negative and what are the positive ideas that are being upheld that are harmful? Again, the patriarchal codes, again, the patriarchy does not exist. Dominant and aggressive behaviors, requiring men to achieve those. No one is requiring, no one is requiring men to achieve dominant and aggressive behaviors. And to speak that these masculine traits are malleable to change based on what? And what is the outcome to this malleableness of masculine traits? I have yet to see what are the positives when masculine traits are adjusted for the comfort of people who are looking to seek a patriarchy that does not exist. Early childhood violence and aggression, asserting power over another, masculine ideals, uh, restriction of emotional expression, bullying, assault, and or physical verbal aggression. Violence and aggression, when we're talking about early childhood, they're talking as young as toddlers, toddler boys are are exhibiting violent and aggressive behaviors. They are brand new to the world. They do not understand anything besides me, me, me. This tastes good. This feels good. I want that. They have that. But to frame it as, oh well, this is violent and aggressive behavior, or the springboard to it is ridiculous. They're brand new to the world. You think after 2 3 years outside the womb they understand sharing, they understand being being cordial? It's ridiculous for them to say that early childhood they're exhibiting violent and aggressive behaviors for the express purpose of asserting power over another. It's not about asserting power. It's like, oh, it's they got a lollipop, they got candy, they got juice. I want that. They have the toy. I want that. There's nothing about, oh well, they're trying to assert authority. That's ridiculous to frame it like that. It's destructive to little boys who hear this and see this everywhere on TV, movies. Bad boy. You act like, oh, well, they're supposed to be able to take this. Why? They just got here. Why are they supposed to be able to take that? Why is that innate in them to take, oh, what you're doing is wrong in every way, shape, or form? These pressures to conform to expectations of dominance and aggression heighten the potential for boys to engage in general acts of violence, including but not limited, because that's not enough, bullying, assault, and or physical verbal aggression. Talking about boys like this is not going to make you safer, ladies. This is not going to make this world where you are able to safely navigate through this world by yourself by neutering and castrating little boys to make them feel that they're wrong. They're not wrong. They need to be taught. That's all. This is not deliberate. It's not innate and born in them to hurt. Little girls do the same things. Little girls do the same things as little boys because both of them are brand new to the world. Trying to make a safer world by destroying little boys is counterproductive. It does not make you any safer and it does not help you in the long run. Makes a society of weak males. Bullying. Early childhood bullying. Is it the little boys and girls, or is it the inactivity of the parents? Parents plural. You cannot have a brand new being on this planet and think that you're going to have great results as the norm with one parent. Boys and girls, but more importantly, boys have to be taught impulse control. Impulse control, not through violence, but impulse control through conversations. Helping them to see you cannot do that. Is that if that was you, would you be happy if that was you, would you be happy that that was done to you? Can beat impulse control out of them. You actually make them more violent. And if you have one parent who's exercising violence, trying to impose impulse control on them, where's their refuge? Where's their safe harbor? If the person who is raising them singularly is also a person who's imposing their will on them, trying to help the child control their impulsive nature. Given the opportunity, the child will eat cereal morning, noon, and night. And it's not because, oh, they're bad. It's because it tastes good. I want that. That's it. It's up to the parents to say you can have the cereal, but you have to have the vegetables, you have to have the all of that. Left up to their own devices, they will do everything wrong because they're brand new to the planet. They do not understand. But again, impulse control. That's all it is. Bullying, assault, and or physical verbal aggression. And verbal aggression, that comes from the home. That's not innate and born in them. That's the byproduct of the household. So to say that's a masculine trait, stop. That's a lie. And they have these individuals who are talking about teaching boys and men to keep what's positive about traditional masculinity while jettisoning what's bad. How bad? What's bad? What's good? Because it seems like everything is bad. Look at this. Toughness, stoicism, acquisitiveness, self reliance. These qualities, as a whole or individually or combinations, lead to emotionally stunted males. Toughness. Why is toughness a negative? Who wants a male who cannot handle uh breaking their hand? Oh well, I can't work no more. I broke my hand. Oh, you got a C plus when you thought you were going to get an A. Well, I might as well drop out of school. Got last place in in a track meet. Oh, I need to give that up. That's toughness. Why is this listed as a negative? Stoicism. It is wearing your emotions on your sleeve gives an unfair advantage to anybody who can observe that. What is a poker face? Oh, I got a great hand. Don't smile. It's a $2 million pot. You start smiling and grinning. Oh, it won't get to a $5 million pot because you cannot control yourself. It's all over your face. Or you bluff and they can tell you're bluffing because your poker face is trash. You done lost everything. Mike Tyson, I believe he said before every fight he had, he was scared or something to that effect. I don't think anybody knew that about Mike until he said it. Would he have ever ascended to a heavyweight champion if everybody could see on his face that he was scared and use that against him? I can see you ain't ready, Mike. Oh, you going down. Oh, snap, they can see it on my face. How is stoicism bad? A negative? Acquisitiveness. An interest in acquiring money or material things. That's a negative. You don't want anybody with a fire in their belly, a desire to have a better existence than they grew up in. That's a negative. To want to have more than you have right now. You're supposed to be content. I don't know of any multi-millionaire or billionaire who just sat on their butt after they got 750,000 or their first 2 million. They just said, I'm good right here. I'm not doing anything else because this is it. I'm content. We talk about them and their acquired wealth, the negatives and the positives of how they got it, regardless. But to say to want more is bad, that's ridiculous. Self reliance, okay. So the ability to function without having to be dependent on someone else is bad. What's a mama's boy? Because I've always thought that was a negative. 44 years old living in their mama's basement. You see it in sitcoms, you see it in TV shows, you see it in movies. The guy living in the basement and his mom is upstairs. That's a positive because it always seems like a joke, but self reliance is a negative. Car breaks down, he doesn't know how to change a tire. Lost his job, tried to find another job and start instead of starting their own business. Entrepreneurship is a negative. I'm just that seems kind of odd considering there are so many entrepreneur females out there. But for men, it's a negative. Okay. All right. Emotionally stunted males. I've always been under the impression that a man who cannot control his emotions is dangerous. Again, that falls under impulse control. Emotionally reckless male is dangerous. He stepped on my shoes. Things go way left. But we want emotionally vulnerable men, males. Stunted is bad. Just fun and fancy free with their emotions is good. Okay. All right. All right. Strong woman as a threat to masculinity. There is no threat. Men don't see it as a threat. Confusion, repulsion, a general why do you want to be strong? I don't. I mean, are strong women drawn to feminine men? I don't think that's the case. Cause a boss bi journey wants a strong man. So who are these feminine men for? Who are these men that are going to fill the space or fill the vacuum that was created by these strong women? Who are these men that are in demand that have filled that void that was left by these strong women? Nobody's threatened. Nobody's threatened at all. Certain parts of masculinity are positive, but they never say what. They can say what's negative, and based on what I just explained about stoicism and self reliance, those are negatives. But I have yet to come across what is defined as positive. But all we know is that the negative needs to be challenged, redefined, and got rid of. Challenged to achieve what? What is the end goal of challenging the negative aspects? And if they have to be challenged, why do you redefine them? They're supposed to be challenged. Why do you create a new masculine trait? I mean, the gotten rid of makes the most sense if it has to be challenged. But to achieve what? Just challenging, redefining, and getting rid of for a better what? Seems like it's just doing just for the sake of doing, considering there is no patriarchy to fight. But you want to challenge, redefine, and get rid of the negative aspects of masculinity. Okay. This is the depths of the insanity to destroy little boys. Look at how they frame this questionnaire. Violent boys and men are mentally ill. You have, yes, mental illness is a major factor in why violence is committed by boys and men. No, not all boys and men who commit violent acts are mentally ill. So, either way, bad. Bad all around. Doesn't matter. Mental illness, yes, because you're a male and it's just that's how you are created in God's image. Or no, not everybody has mental illness, but you're still violent. Destroying little boys for what? Next one. Violent boys and men have a lot of testosterone. Testosterone. Yes. High testosterone levels explains why boys and men act violently. Or no, testosterone does not adequately explain the reason why acts of violence are committed by boys and men. Again, it doesn't matter. No matter which way you answer, boys, males, men are violent. It's just in us. Just across the board. Doesn't matter. Castration in you. It has to do with masculinity. I agree. Strongly endorsing masculine norms put men and boys at risk to commit violence. Or I do not agree. Masculine norms have nothing to do with committing acts of violence. Destroying little boys, young men at all costs. For what? What are you trying to gain by putting out this information? This utopian society that you think you're going to create is not in your best interest. It will not serve you as you think it will. Most acts are perpetrated by men, yet most men are not violencia. How then do we explain the connection between men and violencia? Again, no matter what, violent. We are, they are, will always be violent, destroying little boys, young men at all costs. Why? Take a look at this. And the retaliatory violencia that went on for days, nearly 2,000 people, most of them fill in the blank, were machete, lead projectile, set ablaze to deletion. Doesn't matter the place. Look at the last. Hundreds of women were what? So we don't want toughness because we don't want, let's say, your husband or father to have been hacked or caught a lead projectile, feigned his deletion to try and find you, mother, wife, daughter. You don't want his toughness because this is a negative trait. You don't want his stoicism. We don't want his stoicism because he's witnessing these atrocities that are going on around him, and you just want him to crumble into a heap of nothing of use. We don't want him to just see the atrocities going on around, but pushing through to find wife, mother, daughter. Don't want that. It's a negative trait, right? Acquisitiveness, excessive want to make money and have material wealth. How is that bad in this situation? It's going bad or it's boiling over, and to have the means to leave and not have to deal with the situation because the father or husband had this desire to make material wealth. How is that bad? To have the means to leave as opposed to not have the means and have to gamble that you will not be one of the hundreds of women who had to deal with this violence. How is that bad? Self-reliance. We don't want, oh, while this is going on with hundreds of women, we don't want the husband, the father, the son to be self-reliant. We don't want the Jason Bourne, the 007s, the Fall Guy, MacGyver. We don't want him to be able to figure stuff out on the fly to save you from what is happening to hundreds of women. None of, there's no positive. Oh, emotionally stunted. Again, we want him to be a heap of nothingness, just crying in a corner while this is happening to you, adult female, child female. We just want him in the corner witnessing this because these traits that are listed as negative, we don't want that in the father, husband, or son. You're trying to destroy what is your saving grace. These movies where you put in these female lead characters is nonsense. These movies that they're putting out where the female is super strong and super resilient, it's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie to make you feel good. And y'all are spending money watching this trash, geeking yourselves up like this is real life. Based on this happens everywhere on this planet. Everywhere. To people outside of you, to people within your space. And you're trying to destroy little boys for what? So you can pretend that, oh, well, if I was there, it wouldn't have been hundreds. If it was hundreds with men, what'd you think if it was just women there? Because all of the traits that have been listed as negative create soft, unusable men. Excuse me, unusable males. All these negatives listed, they won't stop squat. These soy boys, cake boys, emotionally vulnerable. Y'all gotta stop this nonsense. This is ridiculous. Anyway, like, subscribe, comment, please. Please comment so you could tell me that I am wrong, how I am wrong. That these traits that y'all are saying is negative is a positive, especially to the females.